Hello and welcome to Let's Play of Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. Mm, I do have the original Icewind Dale as a game, so that's certainly not a blind playthrough, but I've never played the Heart of Winter, I think. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Also, the Enhanced Edition is somewhat changed. Icewind Dale, while it's an Infinity Engine game, it's in the awkward position where even to people who've used the original Baldur's Gate 2, it's hard to play Icewind Dale anymore. It just like I think it has like a maximum resolution of 640 times 480, so it's really tough getting into it. So an enhanced edition certainly is warranted in this case. Might as well get started though.
They say that history is the greatest of all teachers, and that tales of past deeds define who we are in the present, and what we shall be in the future. It is said that such tales shall, with each telling, illuminate us all with the light of truth. I shall tell you of such a tale. It is a tale quite familiar to me, for I have spent nearly a lifetime piecing it together and chronicling it here within this book. For years I have pondered its passages, studying every line, committing each word to memory. Perhaps now, in the telling of it, I shall at last find the answers I seek. Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerun, known as Icewind Dale. It is a harsh, frozen land, cut off from the rest of the world by a wall of jagged peaks called the Spine of the World. For centuries, the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the barbarian peoples of the Uthgard and Regedman. Huddled together in small, closely knit tribes, the barbarians lived simple lives, free, proud, and fiercely independent. Until the day an archmage named Erakan came to Icewind Dale. With an army of mercenaries, Erakan sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery. Long weeks of battle followed, and the scattered barbarian tribes suffered terrible losses. Defeat seemed inevitable. In their darkest hour, a barbarian shaman named Jared came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes of the north. A respected warrior, Jared persuaded the council to put aside their differences and unite against Erakan. Strengthened by a new sense of purpose, the barbarians rallied behind their new leader. The combined might of the Northmen proved more than a match for Erakan, who had counted on the division of the tribes. Wave after wave of barbarian warriors tore into Erakan's hired army, forcing them on the defensive and ultimately into full retreat. As his army crumbled around him, Erakan had time for one last desperate act before his enemies descended upon him. Drawing upon his remaining power, the Archmage breached the planar boundaries, tearing open a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the hideous and twisted shapes of demonkind materialized from the portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat side by side. The remaining warriors bravely charged the portal to drive the hellspawn back, and were slaughtered by the hundreds. As his people fell around him, the barbarian shaman, Jared, looked up from the blood-drenched snow of the battlefield and caught sight of a lone figure high upon a ridge in the distance. Jared immediately recognized this vision as an omen from his god Tempus, and in that instant, he knew what had to be done. Shouting cries to his god, he charged through the ranks of the demons and plunged into the portal. As Jared's blood fused with the energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield. When the light subsided, the demons were gone, and the portal was closed. In its place hovered a disk of solid stone. Frozen within the center of the disk was Jared's body, locked in his final moment of agony, in his final moment of triumph, for all eternity. But that is not the end of our tale. It is but the beginning.
Fairly long introduction. Game is widescreen, sort of. Well, it uses the widescreen, but it's not really widescreen. I haven't looked at the full list of changes compared to the original game. I'm not particularly interested. The game did allow you to regenerate characters, which I have done, so I should be able to just choose my characters instead of making them. How interesting this. How does this work? My design for the group is 3-3 split. 3 combat characters, 3 that can do some kind of casting at least. I have 1 rogue type of a character, but I don't really want a thief. I basically have it just so I have someone who can spot and disable traps. I think it's like a multi-class character. I need to take a closer look at the characters. I don't actually recall what they do anymore. Mainly because this game allows for class kits, while the original game only allows base classes, and the kits add a huge amount of variety to the characters, even within a single class, so that makes a big difference. I'm pretty sure we have basically a barbarian, a paladin, dwarven defender. This is our rogue caster combination, priest, and a mage. So nothing too amazing, a fairly typical group. But maybe the thief is something I don't know how well it'll work. We'll see. Game also allows you to switch between 2 2nd edition and 3rd edition rules on some things. Like in 2nd edition, thieves can only backstab once in a fight. It's basically the initial strike. After you're spotted, you can't backstab anymore. In 3rd edition, if the enemy isn't focusing on you, you can just go in his rear and start doing backstabs continuously. So things like that. I'll be playing with the 2nd edition rules because those were the original rules of the game. But I don't mind the option because backstabbing basically isn't all that useful unless you can do it continuously. It changes I suppose, the flavor of the thief class. If you can do the sneak attacking continuously, you can do a massive amount of damage. It turns the rogue into a DPS class more than just a sneaksman's class, but that doesn't really matter.
Our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of East Haven. one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale. The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Lech Dineshire. Here, within a dimly lit tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be?
Greetings, Rotgar. My name is Bolfor.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door, at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Fare thee well. Okay. Right. What type of a team do I actually have? The game isn't really widescreen though, is it? I suppose it... yeah... well, more or less. Seems to use up the screen space fairly well. Not sure if we can get rid of... I don't want to get rid of this side, but I'm not so sure I want to have this continuously here. How the fuck do you get rid of it? Okay, that's mage. Records. Dwarven Defender. What exactly does a Dwarven Defender do? Defensive stance. So resistance to all forms of physical damage, saving throw bonuses. If you want to hold your ground, he's the perfect guy for it. We'll get some lower ability as far as certain type of weapons are concerned. We're only good at using 2 weapons and we can never be grandmasters in weapons, so our offensive capabilities are capped at a lower level. Right. Who are you? Inquisitor. What's special about an Inquisitor Paladin? Yeah, it's an anti-mage, immune to holding effect and charm. Sometimes fairly annoying abilities. We're suckier against undead. We don't have any spells, but we basically are more of an anti-mage focus thing. The true side is probably why I wanted this. It's a huge pain in the ass if you have a lot of opponents that can turn invisible. There's not a lot you can do about that. But now we have a counter to that. Also, the ability to cast Dispel Magic. It's a fairly powerful version of it too. So yeah. I'm basically saying we should be able to take down the spellcasters a little bit faster. Typical mage, access to all spells, not specialized in anything. Really nothing to say about her. Milo, the illusionist thief. Right, I think I put all my points into disarm traps. Basically because I'm not really interested in the thieving abilities otherwise. So I felt like a specialized thief of any sort would be a sort of a waste. I could have chosen a kit that's more combat oriented, but I also didn't like the fact that I would have basically a mage and a cleric only as on the casting front. So this is an attempt to have the mandatory thief in the party while at the same time trying to boost my casting capabilities at least a little bit. He'll never be a great caster, but he might be able to supplement especially magical damage in some way. That can be very important if you need to burst through something. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but who the hell cares? Priest of Lathander, and what's the specialty about this? Hold undead once per day. Boon of Lathander once per day, which does what? +1 bonus to attack and spell rolls, +1 to all saving throws, +1 extra attack per round. Also protects recipient from level drain, so a little bit more and extra capabilities for our guys against undead. And barbarian. I usually don't like barbarians. They lack the armor that proper fighters should have. She's basically here for the immunity to backstab and the rage, because it provides a lot of immunities right from the first level. Immunity to all charm, hold, fear, maze, stun, sleep, confusion, and level drain spells. It won't last long, but in a tough situation, sometimes it's not the normal attacks and fighting capabilities you need to worry about, it's the specialty ability. So as long as she's raging, she will be able to pretty much do what I would expect a fighter to do. They can't use a status effect to play the fighter out of the fight. Right. So we have nothing. We have sticks. 540 gold. Yeah, this isn't good. The user interface is a bit weird for me because it's very familiar from Infinity games, but it's not exactly the same. There's too much information, useful information. I can directly see how much damage I do, for example. I can see where the damage points are coming from. So this is not a bad thing. It's gonna take a little bit of time for me to get used to it. Right.
Hi.
I don't know what the different colors mean. I don't understand it. What is this? Quick loot. Right. Nope. Nope. I'm trying to get rid of that one. Right. Is it better? The sort of the game screen ends there anyway, no matter what I do. I'm not sure if that matters. Hildreth High Hammer. Wilbeck. Why, ye seem to me like a fresh new vein of ore, all untried and untested. I be Hildreth, should ye wish to know. Yeah. A vein of ore, what do you mean? What I'm saying is that you look a little new at this adventuring thing. No offense intended. We all have to start somewhere. If you be looking for tips, I even have some news that might prove interesting to you. Okay, what do you know? I'm not all eyes and ears here. Mostly I've been keeping to my cups to keep the chill away. But I have heard that a local sword named Hrothgar is putting together some sort of expedition. Sounds like it might be fun. I'll be going along myself. Hmm, tell me more. The folk around here say that Hrothgar be a valiant man, but not the type to go dashing off to his death. They say he be an excellent leader. We're headed up to the mountains to investigate some sort of disturbance up there. You'd best be talking to Hrothgar himself to hear the full story. Okay. So, can use Grisella. Uh, maybe we should go to the shop first. Maybe I can get some cheap equipment somewhere else. I mean, without buying it. Hello there, dearie. Welcome to the Winter's Cradle Tavern. My name's Grisella. I own and operate this fine establishment. What can I get for you? Um, questions. Sorry, dearie, I haven't the time to chit-chat with you. I have a tavern to run. If you are looking to catch up on local gossip, I suggest you buy a round or mingle with some of the other patrons. Okay, how about a drink? Of course, dearie. After all, this is a tavern. Plenty to drink here. Well, you see, I am in a bit of a bind right now. Sorry about that. I've just run out of everything. I have nothing to offer you in the way of drink at the moment. Uh, you run out of everything. Well, the tavern hasn't run completely dry. I do have some stock down in the cellar, but... What? This is rather embarrassing, but I'm having somewhat of a pest problem down in the dirty old cellar. I'm afraid to go down there. I do so hate bugs. Just the thought of those nasty creepies and crawlies sends a shivers down my spine. Okay, so the basic do you know how to attack enemies type of quest. Um, anything I can do to help? That's awfully sweet of you, dearie, but I don't expect you to go to any trouble on my account. I'm sure I'll think of something. Do I want to ask for a prize? Uh, generally speaking, I am a good aligned party more or less. I might have some neutrals, but I do have a paladin, for example. So I don't mind helping people in general. To it usually pays off the best in these games because you get more experience, and that's the most valuable currency in a game like this. Okay, have no fear, madam. I shall see to it that the pests down below trouble you no further. Wonderful. The stairs to the cellars are in the back room. Now you be careful down there, dearie, and don't let any of those little buggers creep back up here, alright? I still don't understand what the fuck are these different colors? Why are they different colors? Is it the big... They're sort of similar looking on... just from external.
Yes.
Basically, is the main color I choose affecting that? Yeah, it is. Shit,
Ready.
that's horrible. It might be useful in some
I
situations.
am ready.
Honestly, I don't like it. I suppose it might make it easy for you to... Well, let's assume there's a fight going on. It's easier for you to identify basically which characters are yours from the enemies, things like that. So it's by no means a worthless thing. It does mean though that we're going to have
I'm
to
here.
switch the colors because I'm not taking. I don't want similar looking colors at all. It'll just make things
Your
tough for
desire.
me to identify things.
What is your will?
Cleric can be white.
Mhm.
Oh,
Ready for action.
any blues?
You have my
Okay.
undivided attention.
No, no, no. You, Mr. Black here.
I.
Quickly now.
Okay,
Ready.
at least
Is
they're
that
somewhat
all?
different now. What type of beasties are we talking about? Beetles. Doesn't look like there's anything of interest here. These racks hold numerous bottles and wine and other spirits. The thick layer of dust and cobwebs has settled over everything. Right? So there's nothing here, nothing to loot. More or less
Yes.
just to see if we
I'm
can
here.
What is required?
successfully attack something.
How can I help?
I await your instructions.
Yeah, I'm not using
I am
spells
ready
for
as
this
always.
shit.
Yeah.
Taste my steel.
I.
Okay. I suppose we should keep the AI on. Although I hate when they do things on their own.
Your life is forfeit.
in your blood.
It's not like it's bad for the even most of the time, but when it goes wrong, it can fuck you up so
Right now.
badly. And we got about, yeah, almost nothing as far as experience is concerned.
Watch me go.
Yeah, as long as the paladin doesn't do the talking in this case, I don't particularly think it matters who talks. Paladins have a nasty habit of declining monetary rewards and things like that, so I don't want him to talk to anyone. It's done. The box won't be troubling you anymore. Thank you, dearie. You're a lifesaver. Just do me one more favor. Keep this little bug problem between you and me. I don't want folks thinking Grisella's place isn't clean. Run along now. 5 gold, 1,200. Is it experience for all or is it spread? It's spread. Right, so good to know.
Watch me go.
I caught a big fish, but it got away. Okay. They're just children. Fishmonger.
Is that all?
Yeah, now that I look at it, I don't think there's any point in having these different colors in these characters. I mean, they're still useful, but I mean is you have 2 rings on all your characters and 1 identifying ring on the NPCs, so you can immediately identify your own guys anyway. I suppose the problem I have with is this.
Done.
There's a reason why you usually want to use colors that are obvious in many situations. They don't get mixed in with the background or things like that. Also, a lot of the colors seem to be fairly similar. This is supposed to be black, for example, and I don't know what it is, but it isn't black. So is there a... maybe you could go with the orange then. Yeah, yellow. Okay.
I'm here.
Well met, stranger. The name's Gaspar. Gaspar the fishmonger. What can I do for you this fine day? This doesn't look much like a fish shop. That's because it isn't, my friend. This is my home. I may be a fishmonger, but that doesn't mean I hawk fish like some street vendor. I deal in large quantities of dried knucklehead and scrimshaw, the bulk of which I keep stored in my warehouse down on the shore. What exact... okay, why am I asking about the fish? Dried what? Knucklehead trout is a rare fish found only in the lakes of the 10 towns. Their bones are used to produce valuable scrimshaw. And what exact... okay. You must make a decent amount of coin selling these fish. It's an honest living. I make most of my profit from trade, though. As a matter of fact, I've an important transaction in the works as we speak. Oh really? What sort of transaction? The town's food stores are running dangerously low. My warehouse foreman, Truin, tells me that there may not be enough food to last through the coming winter. I've arranged a trade with old Galloway up in their Dinable that will keep our stomachs full well into next year. The caravan's due to arrive any day now. Good luck to you. Anything new? What is scrimshaw? Scrimshaw is simply a fancy name for carved bone. Since knucklehead trout are so rare, scrimshaw carvings made from their bones are particularly valuable. Scrimshaw from East Haven is prized by fine artists and craftsmen throughout the realms. Let's see.
I am ready.
How do you select the entire
Aye.
team?
Not a problem.
Not a problem indeed.
Is that all?
Okay, basic equipment. Better to be poor than to be lacking in equipment. I'd like to at least get basic weapons that the guys are specialized in and basic armor. That's more or less... I'll be satisfied with that.
Aye.
What is this? No barbarians come to my shop. No doubt with nothing to barter with but more wolf pelts and polished stones. Very well, let's get this over with. What do you want? Barbarians? I think you're mistaken, friend. Am I now? I do not think so. All of you northerners are the same to me. Smelly and barbaric. I take it you're not from around here. I am Pomab Akaz here, royal diplomatic envoy of Kalimshan and appointed overseer of the northern caravan routes. Oh, I see. Your appearance as a lowly shopkeeper is just a clever disguise. Throw a would-be assassins, am I right? Your poor attempt at sarcasm is an obvious sign of your low birth. I'll have you know that I am third cousin to the Pasha himself, not to mention a royal courtier in good standing. Yeah, then why are you here? If you are in such good standing in Kalimshan, then what in the Nine Hells are you doing all the way up here in Icewind Dale? The Pasha asked me to accept this post of overseer of the northern caravan routes as a personal favor. Interesting. Tell me, overseer, did you ever hear of such a post before the Pasha offered it to you? Well, I grow tired of your ridiculous questions. I have many obligations to tend to, so I suggest you quit wasting my time. Either buy something or get out. What do you have? Okay, looks like we might be able to get a couple of armors, and that's about it. They don't offer that many armors in the first place. Yeah, unless we go for something ridiculously expensive, we should be able to afford everything we really need. Probably not ranged weapons, though. Here's the thing. Um, Icewind Dale series of games is more combat focused than the Baldur's Gate series of games, even though they use the same engine. And this means there's usually a lot more trickery with the fighting that they try to take advantage of. They don't exactly always follow the exact same rules either. So, while you can get away with sort of half-assing things in Baldur's Gate, combat-wise, it's usually harder in Icewind Dale. The game is less forgiving in that sense. Not necessarily harder, but let's say Icewind Dale 2, for example, has a lot of weapon damage type specialties in the monsters. Like they can be pretty much immune to certain damage type, like a blunt damage, while Baldur's Gate gives zero shits about those things really. Well, a little bit, but it'll never be a major influence in what weapons you should choose. Here, at least in Icewind Dale 2, it's a good idea to have a backup weapon, or at least be able to do two different types of damage with your chosen type of equipment. Um, okay, I need at least a medium shield. I don't necessarily need a large shield. And we're trying to save money, so we'll go to cheaper options. Helmets, do they even do anything? Protects against critical hits. Yes, they are very important. Might as well buy one. Good, I can see immediately who can use what. Frontline fighters have to have the armor. Armor class 4 or armor class 5. Yeah, weak against crushing, good against slashing. Great against crushing, no real weaknesses. So this is the splint mail is much better. Gotta be splint mails then. Barbarian can use splint mail. Apparently. She can't use heavy, that's the thing. Probably that's the only armoring I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna need weapons now. They are mostly having one-handed weapons too. Okay, well, what exactly can you use? He probably has a sword specialty of some sort. He has hammer or axe. Probably can use both. The only weapon skills he's good at, so... I have no idea what the barbarian can use. Warhammer. Shit. I guess wrong. Spear. Okay. Why the fuck did I choose spear? Longsword. So I need a hammer and a spear. Do you even sell hammers? Yes. Maybe a ranged weapon for you guys. We already have quarter stab, so that's not much of a problem. Sling and some bullets. Okay. The ammunition doesn't stack indefinitely, but it stacks well enough. 80 shots per inventory slot used. Uh, use a dagger too, right? Any more shields available? Even a shitty shield would be better than nothing. Don't have really armors. I'm going to need 2. So I'm not sure if I should really buy anything for these. We're probably going to find something. At the same time, it's probably better to buy at least a shitty armor than go on with no armor at all. So right. Not bad, not bad at all. I wonder if the weapons can break in this game. Doesn't really matter now because I can't afford to buy secondary weapons anyway. Just thinking out aloud. Decent armor class, decent armor class on the frontline warriors. Nothing amazing, but about as good as you could hope for at this point. Right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Old Jet's house. I suppose I should basically just go through the places, see if we can gather up quests and little things to do. It's vital that we get the first level ups as quickly as possible. It's just, especially the low hit point characters are in deep shit. Any kind of random dice roll and they're dead. There should be an inn. Don't need. Well, it's a good idea to get an idea of how expensive it is to rest here, for example.
Watch me go.
Greetings, traveler. The name's Quimby, and I welcome you to my inn. Heard anything interesting lately, Quimby? Actually, yes. The whole town's been talking about the upcoming expedition into the spine of the world. Excitement. Tell me more. Well, Hrothgar's no doubt will be leading the expedition. I've heard that Akalia, the initiate at the temple, is going, though I suppose Everard will stay behind to minister to the town. There's a dwarf named Hildred who's going along as well, and even Pomab has agreed to go. Ah, what a grand adventure it will be. Okay, how about a room? So it's the basic Infinity Agent system. Okay, do you have visitors? Things to steal. How do I know? Am I stealing something or am I just taking a look? Erebane Black Sheep. Well met, friend. I'm Erebane Black Sheep of Everesca. It has been many moons since I have seen friendly faces. Despite the dreary nature of our current locale, East Haven is a welcome sight for these elven eyes. Tell me, Irvine, have you seen much in your travels? When I set out from Everesca, I was used to a peaceful life. I had no idea what wonders and horrors the life of adventure would bring to my ever-changing doorstep. I'm glad I didn't go on the retreat 20 years ago. Hmm. What is the retreat? The retreat is the gradual migration of Telquesir to the Isle of Evermead. It should only take a few hundred years for all of the people to complete the migration. Until then, I've decided to explore the rest of Faerun. Hmm. Heard any good rumors? Well, I haven't heard any rumors lately. However, when I traveled through Kuldahar, I had a strange feeling about something in that valley. It's more than just the weather that bothered me. Something seemed amiss in the mountains, the trees, even the clouds in the sky. Something was out of place. Something was wrong. Thanks for the advice. Anyone else? Okay, I might be able to force these things open, but I certainly can't lockpick them. Then I have a good aligned group with a paladin on board. I'm not gonna break into those. You might find something of slight interest or amusement, but I don't care. It's never
Easy as
enough to
goblin pie.
easy as goblin pie. Uh, I'm not sure I want to know what that means. Monster! Okay.
Quick, we've got to get to the Hrothgar. There are monsters in town. They almost ate me.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Monsters, a whole bunch of them. They came down to the shore while I was fishing. I dropped everything and ran when I saw them, but they didn't chase me. I thought they were going to eat me, but I guess they were just after my fish.
Where are these monsters now?
Just over the bridge, down by the lake. My dad told me not to fish so far out of myself, but I can't help it. That's where I catch the big ones. He's gonna kill me when he finds out I've lost today's catch, all because of those stupid monsters.
We'll deal with the monsters and get your fish back. For some reason. Group of monsters. And a fishing hole. So, how bad is it? Some goblins, maybe? Yep. Pretty much a repeat of the fuck. And we're basically dead. This might be a good time to cast your only goddamn spell.
Ready.
What are you doing?
Uh-huh.
I fear I am wounded. Your command?
Yep.
Forward. Ready. Yes?
You need food, you can heal your own ass, please.
Take no prisoners!
Weird in your blood.
You have my undivided
Yeah.
attention.
Easy as goblin pie.
I like this. Quick loot system. At the very least, I'm gonna take the bows. They are quite expensive to buy, and everyone should have a ranged weapon. Okay. I like this. I'm not sure who actually gets this shit. Probably the first guy on the right. Knuckle headshot. High quality dagger. Not exactly a poisoned one. But this looks like a poisoned dagger. Oh shit, he's too far away.
Speak your mind.
Jordan.
Okay, this is good. How much? Yeah, you can get almost no experience out of those. It's all about doing quests. At least at this point.
You're back. Were you able to get my fish back from those monsters?
Today's your lucky day, boy. Here's your fish. At least what's left of it.
Thanks. I'd best be getting home now. My dad's probably worrying about me.
So we didn't really even get anything. 1,200. So that seems to be the standard fee for doing favors here. It isn't amounting to much. This is one of those games though where playing solo levels you up quickly. Anything else we can do? Bullshit.
Is that all?
Hey there, matey. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Not so good, matey. Grisella, the barkeep over at the Winter's Cradle, cut me off. How am I supposed to get any proper fishing done?
Uh, what did she do? Why'd she do that?
The barkeep says I be drinking too much. What does she know? I've only overturned my boat 4 times. Anyway, I need me wine to fish proper like.
Well, anything I can do to support your downward spiral into oblivion?
Ye could go to Pomaps and fetch me some wine. Then I could get back to me fishing. I would be grateful for it. I'd go to get myself, but 2 summers past I got so mad at that pompous Pomap that I threw his sorry behind into Lancashire.
Uh, just how grateful are you going to be? Fine, I'll just do it. I need the experience. If someone wants to drink himself to death, I don't care.
Watch me go.
So how much is it worth? A bit of wine. 3 gold, that's nothing. Probably should buy some arrows. We don't need a huge amount, but I'd like everyone to have some kind of range capability. This game is much more likely to use environments against me, so I simply might not be able to get to my targets in physical combat. Right.
Is that all?
I don't think there's all that many things we can do here. A couple of minor things to get you sort of familiar with the
Easy as
system.
goblin pie.
All in a day's work for our heroic types, right? Yeah, 1,200 experience.
Watch me go.
Worth 3 gold pieces any day. And we're not even halfway done to getting our level up. Okay, who's next? I want to finish all the unnecessary crap. Then we can just go talk to Rothgar and end things. Probably need to rest too at the inn before we do that. It'll only cost a single coin. Okay, tell me about this expedition.
Well met, friend, and welcome to my home. Make yourselves comfortable, but try not to break anything. Many of these curiosities that you see lying about have sentimental value.
You don't strike me as the sentimental type. No. You have quite a collection here.
Oh, they're all remembrances of my adventuring days. Little trinkets and the like that I picked up here and there. More keepsakes than valuables, really. Leftovers from my days of fortune and glory.
Impressive. I sincerely hope I have as much luck in my quest for fortune and glory.
Indeed. Well then, this might interest you. I'm putting together an expedition of sorts, one which would surely provide opportunities for both fortune and glory. This is the business I wish to speak to you about.
Tell me more.
We've received word from Kaldahar, our neighbors to the south, that evil forces are stirring nearby in the spine of the World Mountains. I am organizing and leading a party from Easthaven south to Kaldahar Valley to investigate. You look to be capable enough. Perhaps you'd like to join us. What say you?
What sort of evil forces are we talking about?
I don't really know. The messenger wasn't too specific. I suppose if you want more details, you could ask old Everard over at the temple, but time's a-wasting. We need to get this expedition moving before the snows seal off the pass to Kaldahar. So what's it going to be? Are you in or out?
Count us in.
Excellent. Glad to have you on board. I plan to assemble the rest of the expedition and set out for Kaldahar within a few days. With storms brewing in the mountains, I'd rather we depart sooner. But there are matters that require my attention here about town.
What sort of matters? Perhaps we could help.
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you can help. Pomab, the local shopkeeper, has recently expressed concern over the rapidly thinning stock of his store. He's been complaining that the regular caravan from Caer Dineval is long overdue, and that if they don't arrive soon, he's sure to be out of business. Now, normally I'd take Pomab's whining with a grain of salt, but with heavy snows on the way, it would be best to make sure that caravan makes it through.
So what is it you want me to do?
I want you to find that caravan. Leave town by way of the South Bridge and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between Easthaven and Caer Dineval. Caravans always stick close to the shoreline this time of year. Once you find it, see the caravan safely to East Haven. In the meantime, I'll assemble the rest of the expedition and make the final plans for our journey. Return here as quickly as you can. We must make for Calderhop Pass while the weather is favorable. Good luck. Safe journey.
Okay. Don't want to go through his things.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Done.
Ounce person and a stick. First Hildreth than you. Maybe there is some truth to you dwarves planning an expedition to take back some of your old cities, eh? Old cities? You don't need to play innocent with me, friend. I know you're looking to take back one of those gold-filled dwarven cities from those goblinoid bastards, aren't you? What? Lower Dorn's Deep? Upper Dorn's Deep? I'm not familiar with those places. What are they? Maybe you are fresh to those names. Here tell, Lower and Upper Dorn's Deep were dwarven citadels that fell to the goblins a few hundred years ago. The dwarves were supposed to have an alliance with the elves, but it fell apart, and the orcs and goblins ran rampant over the region. Probably still some great treasures lying around in those holes too, but I don't need to tell you that. Okay, I have some questions. East Haven. Lived here for quite a span, I have. Things have been getting worse late, though. Do you mean the weather? Aye, the weather's been going from bad to worse. Never seen it get so cold this early in the year. There's no sign of it letting up. With all this snow, the passes to the south are going to get snowed in early. I wonder if this is a... I don't actually recall the plot of this game. I just wonder if it's it sort of mirrors the plot of the second game. There was an abnormal weather because it was being manipulated. And there were some sort of priest that worshipped god that had basically a theme about ice and cold. I don't recall what the name of their goddess was. I think this is going to be a repeat of that in some sense at least. Tell me about the town. Well, since you're new in town, you'll probably want to get a room at the Snowdrift Inn. It's on the east side of town. The innkeeper Quimpy, he's a right enough sort. He should have plenty of rooms available. But he just got an elf quest from the south, so at least one room is taken. Okay.
Watch we go.
This would be the temple then. Yeah, it's not a big city. Here to go if we want to deal with the caravan situation. Okay, I'll go through the city. We'll leave the caravan for another time. Shield of Ahanen.
Right then.
Hello, my name is Akalia. I'm an initiate here at the Temple of Tempest. I help Everard maintain the temple armor and perform rituals.
Well met, Akalia. I'm Beaufort. You're an initiate in the Temporan faith, eh? Didn't realize the Lord of Battle was so popular up here.
Tempest is revered a great deal by the barbarian tribes up here. They call him Tempos. We immigrants see a lot of conflict and violence in these parts, and people want to make sense out of it all.
How do the barbarian tribes feel about the 10 pounds being here?
It changes from season to season, from year to year, like all things. They are mistrustful for us immigrants and often view our settlements here as an intrusion on their land. Sometimes they trade with us, sometimes they war with us. Hmm.
You said us immigrants. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Neverwinter. I came here to aid Battle Lord Everard when their former war priest, Renfeld, was killed in a battle against the barbarians near Bryn Shander.
Yeah, I guess those barbarians really don't like the immigrants too much. Yeah, changes. Well, at least they don't try to kill you all the time.
It is just part of our daily routine. We know that the barbarians are just a few peaks away, and we immigrants understand the danger that they bring into our lives.
It seems almost pointless to live in such harsh conditions. Aren't you people afraid?
It's actually part of a simple truth that we Temporans believe. Conflict is all around us. Every man and woman has something that he or she believes in, which he or she will die to promote or preserve. Tempus tells us that we should live for something of importance. If we kill, if we die, the same. We preach that conflict and war are vital to mankind's existence.
I agree. Even if we don't like the fact that it's happening, conflict is pretty inevitable in life.
Exactly. That's why we East Haveners practice the Temporan faith and perform the rituals of the Lord of Battles.
Like what rituals?
We celebrate the Feast of the Moon in remembrance of the battle dead. We also sing the Song of the Sword at least once a 10-day. Because of the church's close proximity to the site of so many great battles, our congregation has also local celebrations to remember all of the mighty conflicts that have raged across Icewind Dale. Most important daily ceremonies are the Feast of Heroes at high sun and the Song for the Fallen at sunset.
Okay, what local battles?
We celebrate the Battle of Jarrett Stone. I tell you more about it, but Everard prefers that any questions about it be directed to him. He has somewhat of a different perspective on the teachings than most. Ask him about it if you see him.
What's he like?
Everard is still adjusting to his position here. I think he'd much rather be serving Tempest on the front lines, but his duty is to guard this holy site, the site of Jarrett Stone. You should ask him about it. He knows more of the tales than I do.
So he's a warrior and a priest. How does that fit into the Temporan faith?
Hmm.
Yeah, she's repeating. What are the Feast of Heroes and the Song of the Fallen?
They're pretty straightforward. The Feast of Heroes is a meal that we eat at high sun. During it, we remember the final meal which each warrior eats before he or she enters mortal battle. The Song of the Fallen is a dirge that we sing at sunset as a daily memorial for those who have died in battle.
Okay. This cliff-boarded door set into the floor appears to lead down into a chamber beneath the temple. There doesn't appear to be a way to open it. So are we gonna get... Something's going to happen here then. Now or later in the game though.
Rothgar mentioned there were strangers in town. What is it you want?
I'm Bolfor. Are you the High Priest?
Yes, I am Everard. Everard of Tempus, battle priest of the Lord of Battles. What brings you here?
Akalia told me to ask you about Jarrett Stone. She said it has something to do with one of your holy days.
Jared was a shaman who lived long ago. He brought unity to the northern tribes and led them to victory against the army of Ericon, at the cost of his life.
How did he die?
Once Ericon saw his army routed by Jared and the northern tribes, he sought to bring the Hells to his aid. Ericon opened a gate to the lower plains.
You brought demons to the battlefield? The northern tribes would have been destroyed.
I do not believe that. Jared did. It is said that Tempest himself appeared to Jared upon the battlefield, and Jared took that as a sign.
A sign to do what?
Jared believed Tempest was calling him to sacrifice himself for his people to ensure victory. And so he cast his body into the portal, his blood fusing it to stone. It lies entombed beneath the temple to this day.
You don't sound like you agree with Jared's choice.
Jared had no need to sacrifice himself. Tempest's appearance was a test of faith, proof Jared's people had already won the field that day. Jared failed his god and died a coward's death.
Are you sure his death was in vain? Jared did seal the portal.
One dies for Tempest with a blade in one's hand, not by martyring oneself within the embrace of infernal magics. Jared's duty was to stand with his comrades, not cast himself to his death when the field was already theirs.
Based on what? Everard's... I don't... It's not odd to have a different opinion about this matter. It's odd that he seems to be agitated by that choice. I don't understand why. Because how the fuck would Everard know what would have happened? Portal to the lower planes? Halo spewing forth onto this plane. Yeah. Well, his sacrifice may have prevented other death.
Sacrifice? Let me say this of sacrifice, young one. Then we shall speak of this no more. Sacrifice is a death that has meaning. When it is in vain, it is not sacrifice. It is a waste. That is the lesson of Jared Stone.
Yeah, that seems like a very, very odd position to take. And this stone is buried beneath the temple.
Aye, a great stone disc that holds Jared's corpse for eternity. And so I watch and guard it in Tempest's name. You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
You carry the scars of war, Everard. Were you wounded in battle?
These eyes have seen battle, yes. And my skin bears the mark of swords and axes. That was long ago. Now my place is here.
Why would you leave battle behind?
Because there are many ways one may serve one's god. I am of the Order of the Broken Blade. My duty is to watch this place.
Order of the Broken Blade?
Yes, we were warriors. Wounded in battle, our injuries now keep us far from the front lines. Still, we are fit to guard holy sites to our Lord.
This is a holy site.
It is sacred to Tempest, yes. It marks the field where the barbarian Jared gave up his life ages ago. He lies encased in stone beneath this temple. You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
Do you know anything about the expedition?
I have heard of it, yes. A messenger from Kuldahar visited the temple not long ago, and it has spurred Hrothgar to see what is happening in the north.
Who was the messenger?
Yes, a man from Kuldahar found his way to our door, and he was dead by morning. He claimed he was a messenger from the Archdruid of Kuldahar.
What did he want?
The man spoke of disturbances in Kuldahar. His wounds prevented me from making any sense of his words. Perhaps Hrothgar understood more than I, for he's preparing an expedition.
Are you going?
No, for my place is here. Were I invited, I would still not go. My injuries would only slow the expedition.
I wonder if that's true. It could be that they just want the important and capable people out of the city.
You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
What's that glyph-covered door beneath the statue?
The door leads beneath the temple to the site of Jared's stone. It was sealed with glyphs of Tempest to prevent entry long ago. You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
Okay. Tempest is the god of war, is he not?
War is but one of Tempest's aspects. Warriors, true warriors. You are free to ask, traveler.
Okay,
I
what
promise
services
no
do you have?
answers.
Scroll case, potion bags. I'm not sure how much should I buy these. They're great at saving inventory space. I have no fucking clue what I should be buying. Uh, maybe a potion bag and a scroll case. A scroll case, at least a single one, makes a lot of sense. The scrolls can be very useful and use up a lot of space at the same time. And you could take the potion back. I can buy blessings. That seems like a waste because it won't last long. My biggest worry here is that they're also selling antidotes. It's 100 gold, so it's affordable, which means we probably are going to encounter creatures and opponents that will poison us. There shouldn't be any more big meaningful sites here for us to deal with. She's having the same conversation as the other townsperson, but dwarves trying to find some hidden old cities. Yeah, the dwarf they're talking about, that's someone we haven't encountered yet. Jonan, haven't encountered him. Oh, sorry friend, I didn't see you standing there. Name's Jonan. Something I can do for you. Are you alright? You seem preoccupied. No, I'm fine. Just taking in the view of the lake for a bit. Trying to shake these dreams out of my head. The lake's beautiful, isn't it? Dreams. Usually those fade upon waking, friend. Mayhap a day's worth of fishing will chase them away. Well, dreams have been fishing in me of late, friend. So much so I can barely catch a wink before they rouse me from it. A frustration it is at times. Sometimes it seems like they're more real than the waking world. Okay, tell me about the dreams. Well, there's a woman. And don't give me that eye, it's not what you think. She walks upon the surface of the lakes as if it were black stones instead of waves. Doesn't say anything, just sings beautiful songs, but I can't understand a word. Well, if dreams are your only worry, Jonan, your life can't be too bad. Dreams should be a comfort, not a curse. If truth be told, friend, damn it, there's no sense to it. These dreams are eating at me like a starving wolf. I can barely hold a daily thought in my head before the memory of the dream hounds its way back in there. By the hells, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Well, if I can find some way to help you, Jordan, I will. I don't know how I can, but we'll see what I can find out. You're not playing on a man's hopes, are you? I'd be grateful for just one night of peace. I'll see what I can do. If I think of anything, I will return. Drive away bad dreams. Well, we're gonna probably talk to the shopkeeper's healer, see if they can offer something.
Is that all?
Hildred. Yeah, they're all having the same conversation.
Aye.
Where's Hildred?
Oh, thank the gods. Whoever you are, you picked the perfect time to wander by. I could really use some help.
What seems to be the problem?
A wolf somehow got into my workshop and is tearing the place apart. It attacked me as I was opening the shop this morning. I was so startled by the sight of the beast that I accidentally broke the key off in the lock when I was trying to get away. I can't even get back in.
What exactly do you want me to do?
I'd be most grateful if you could go in there and get rid of that stupid thing for me, and I could get back to my scrimshaw. Of course, you'll have to find a way to get the door open first.
Very well, I'll dispatch your troublesome hound shortly.
I sincerely thank you. The door to my shop is just around the corner here. Please get rid of that demonic canine as soon as possible.
Okay, I think we can kill a wolf. Sure, we can probably bash the door in if nothing else. I could try to use thievery on it. I just don't think it'll work. Huh, work.
Ready. Easy as goblin pie.
Uninjured wolf.
What is your will? I will do as you ask.
Is that all?
Ready.
You need me?
How can I help?
Onward to victory!
God,
Take no prisoners!
Saint Joe. Not a problem.
Yeah, a lot of scrimshaw. Nothing else. Floorboards in this corner have been torn away. Evidence of tooth and claw marks suggests that they were chewed through from below.
Right then.
oh my friend, the wolf is no more. I'm now a happy man. Thank you for helping me. Here's a little something for your trouble.
Thank you, and we got 25 gold. And the standard fee. Ooh, we got an item too. I don't think it's magical, but it's slightly better than normal. Anything else?
Not a problem.
Yeah, we could probably take a look at that, but we wouldn't.
Is that all?
We're not thieves. Sure.
Done.
Good day, I'm Turing. How may I help you?
What do you do here, Churin?
Me? Nothing much. I manage this warehouse here for the fishmonger gas bar. Get paid a sum to store scrimshaw and emergency food supplies here through the harsh winters.
Well, that certainly sounds like it would be important in a place like this. What does the rest of East Haven do?
Well, most of them fish for knucklehead trout in Lake Dineshare. It's not a rich living in terms of wealth, but living up here, a man can still lead a very rich life.
Okay, anything interesting around town?
Well, spending as much time as I do here in this stuffy old warehouse, I don't get to hear much gossip. If you really want to know what's going on in these parts, I suggest you buy a few rounds over at the Winter's Cradle Tavern. You'll find that drinking and spinning yarns are two of East Haven's favorite pastimes.
Maybe I should do exactly that.
Not a problem.
So the biggest mystery still left unsolved is the dream. Yeah. Strange blue-skinned woman. This woman has the skin like the surface of the lake, light green hair and delicate features like that of an elf. At your approach, she begins to sing a soft, flowing song like the sound of a great undersea current. But you have no idea why the song reminds you of that. In a moment, the song and the feeling passes, and the woman looks at you hopefully. Are you the woman that Jonan sees in his dreams?
Jonan?
Yes, Jonan. You are the woman from his dreams, aren't you?
Yes, yes. Have your eyes fallen upon him? Do you know where it is he walks?
Yes, I spoke to him recently. He sees you in his dreams, but he doesn't know what you want of him. What do you want?
I am of the calling Elysia of the Sky Mirror. My heart is Jonan's, but he cannot see me in the flesh, or else I will become as the currents upon the shore. Gift do I have for him, from one of his blood long ago, who also held my heart, but not as Jonan holds it now.
What do you mean?
Many reflections of the moon have come and gone since the day in which the one of the blood of Jonan fell beneath the waters of the lake. He fought the last of the great white serpents that swam upon the northern winds, the Queen Mother Ikasara, who now lies without life on the bed of the lake. A promise was made, and I must honor it. The one from whom Jo Nin comes, as I see his blade return to those his blood. Of his blood, if the queen serpent Isakarak drank his life. She did, but not before he dealt her a mortal blow. From the depths of the lake I have brought the fire-shaped steel that ended her life. It is intended that it be belong to Jonan now.
So you wish to return the sword of Jonan's ancestor to him, but you cannot because the sight of you will make you stream away to water.
It is one of the laws of the lands beneath the lake's mirror. Will you give this to Jonan and tell him my heart? My songs are his, my heart is his.
Okay, I'll do it.
Here then, I entrust this to your keeping until your path crosses with that of Jonan. Return when you have given it to him. I must know if it has found its way back to its home.
Uh, okay, what is it? Shattered blade of Ionin. Okay, well, this is pretty much a wrap up of this thing. Right, there's no new places for us to go to. Suppose I should go to the tavern, fly around there, see if anything new pops up. Leave things there. Didn't get a level up. Still, you could probably get at least a couple level ups if you would have a group of this size. Wrong person. Julian, I think I found the reason for those dreams you're having. You're not playing on a man's hopes, are you? I'd be grateful for just one night of peace. Now, the woman in your dreams is a sea spirit. Her kind speaks through song, which is why you couldn't understand her. Sea spirit? What does she want then? Why the dreams? I can lie. Why would I do that? Her name is Elysia. Speaking through dreams is one of the talents of her race. She speaks to you because she loved one of your ancestors and has carried a promise for him for many, many years. One of my ancestors? Why come to me then? Your features remind her of him, and your heart is as strong, if not stronger. She has come to love you, but she cannot let you see her in the flesh. She wishes to give you something that belonged to your ancestors, if you would take it.
I will. Of course I will. Sorry, well, it's a bit much to be laid upon a fisherman all at once. I'd be honored to accept anything she wishes to have me to have.
Here you are then. It's the blade your ancestor used against Ikasarat, the last of the White Dragon matriarchs. It lay within the dragon's heart for almost a century at the bottom of the waters. Carry it well and know that Elysia loves you. Your dreams shall trouble you no more.
By the spine of the world, even shattered this blade's a wonder, but no more dreams, you said. I'll miss them actually. Her songs, beautiful, simply beautiful.
Well, I'll tell her, Jonan. Well, at least we're halfway to level up. And it's not like the fighters are going to be suffering from that all that much. It's a pain in the ass, but not that big a deal. I'm much more worried about the casting group.
Have you found Jonin?
Yes, and I returned the blade to him.
You have my gratitude. Please take this shaped piece of sand which I have taken from the bed of lake. I have heard that those that walk upon land value such things.
Thank you, Elise. What exactly did I get? A pearl. Right. Okay. A little bit of cash, a little bit of experience. Maybe I should go to the tavern still. Sure, I can afford to buy them rounds.
Is that all?
Hmm. They actually talk about things. No, they all talk about Hildre. Okay, I don't care that much. I'll just sell my crap away.
Done. Done.
Hmm. I'll buy another skull case too. Don't think we really need anything else. We could use heavier armor, things like that, but I'd rather have the gold at this point. I'm pretty sure if we can even kill a couple of guys, I'll be able to just take the armor out from them. Right, I'll go to the tavern, take the
Is that
cheapest
all?
possible rest I can pretty much do, and leave things there. Leave the town the next time. So I should find out what happened to the caravan.
I
I'll go with the merchant one. There's no practical reason to go with that now because I'm not injured, so any rest would do. But I don't think I would like to sleep in peasant quarters if I can afford merchant ones easily. Or the guys wouldn't. I mean, the cost difference is so minimal, so you might as well be in a fairly pleasant room with a decent sized bed and all that.
I await your instructions.
I'm not quite sure how this thing works fully. It's so similar, but it's a slightly bit different. I think I have a single sleep spell. So you have some kind of armor, and okay, this helps me to understand things a little better. Sleep would be better. Can you cast the spells though? I think because this is a specialized caster, there's a reason why this is blue colored instead of the brown the others have. I think you have to have at least one specialized spell from your basically school of specialization. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, now there. I'll go and rest again, see how that works.
Your
It's not
command?
like I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose a single gold piece. So what exactly do you have? Two sleeps that you can't do
Yeah.
anything about because you do have arm. Right.
I am ready as always.
Huh?
Ready. Done. Watch me
Okay.
go.
I'm slowly getting back into how things work. I suppose more or less the introductory tutorial part of the game is now over. Get to the real action. Right. Multi-classes never really work out too well. It'd be better to have a thief for a while and then just switch to another class, but we'll see how that works. I still think it's better than just having a regular thief though, unless you're really into doing the thief thing, using all of their skills. But since I'm not, I think we'll be fine. We have 16 find traps, and every level up will pour all the points. I think we're gonna get about 20-25 points. We're all just pour it all to finding traps. Don't care about anything else.